अलैया अबी रसूलुल्लाह फ़ी बाज़िल अय्याम फ़क़ाल अस्सलामु अलैका या फ़ातिमतो फ़क़ुल्तु अलैका अस्सलाम क़ाल इन्नी अजदु फ़ी बदनी ज़ौफ़न फ़क़ुल्तु लहू उइज़्ज़ुका बिल्लाहि या अबताहु मिनज़्ज़ौफ़ फ़क़ाल या फ़ातिमतो ईतीनी बिलकिसाइल यमानी फ़ग़त्तैनी बिही फ़ातैतहु बिलकिसाइल यमानी फ़ग़त्तैतहु बिही वसुरतु अंज़ुरु इलैहि वइज़ा वजहु यतलाअलु कअन्नहुल बद्रु फ़ी लैलति तमामिही व कमालिही। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आलि फ़मा कानत इल्ला साअतन वइज़ा बिवलदिल हसन क़द अक़बल फ़क़ाल अस्सलामु अलैका या उम्महो फ़क़ुल्तु वअलैका अस्सलाम या क़ुर्रत ऐनी व समरत फ़ुआदी फ़क़ाल या उम्महो इन्नी अशम्मु इंदका राइहतन तय्यबतन कान राइहत जद्दी रसूलुल्लाह फ़क़ुल्तु नअम इन्न जद्दका तहतल किसाए फ़अक़बल अल हसन नहवल किसाए वक़ाल अस्सलामु अलैका या जद्दहु या रसूलल्लाह अताज़ुन्नी अन अदख़ुल मअका तहतल किसाए क़ाल वअलैका अस्सलाम या वलदी व या साहिबि हौज़ी क़द अज़नत लका फ़दख़ल मअहू तहतल किसाए। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद। फ़मा कानत इल्ला साअतन बिवलदिल हुसैन क़द अक़बल वक़ाल अस्सलामु अलैका या उम्महो फ़क़ुल्तु वअलैका अस्सलाम या वलदी या क़ुर्रत ऐनी वसमरत फ़ुआदी फ़क़ाल या उम्महो इन्नी अशम्मु इंदका राइहतन तय्यबतन कान राइहत जद्दी रसूलुल्लाह फ़क़ुल्तु नअम इन्न जद्दका व अख़ाका तहतल किसाए फ़दनल हुसैन नहवल किसाए वक़ाल अस्सलामु अलैका या जद्दहु वस्सलामु अलैका या मन अख़्तारल्लाहु अताज़ुन्नी अन अदख़ुल मअकुम तहतल किसाए फ़क़ाल वअलैका अस्सलाम या वलदी व या शाफ़ि उम्मती क़द अज़नतु लका फ़दख़ल मअहुमा तहतल किसाए। फ़अक़बल इंद ज़ालिका अबुल हसन अली इब्न अबी तालिब वक़ाल अस्सलामु अलैका या बिन्त रसूलिल्लाह फ़क़ुल्तु वअलैका अस्सलाम या अबुल हसन या अमीरुल मोमिनीन फ़क़ाल या फ़ातिमतु इन्नी अशम्मु इंदका राइहतन तय्यबतन कान राइहत अख़ी व इब्न अम्मी रसूलुल्लाह फ़क़ुल्तु नअम हा हुमा वलदैका तहतल किसाए फ़अक़बल अली नहवल किसाए वक़ाल अस्सलामु अलैका या रसूलल्लाह अताज़ुन्नी अन अकून मअकुम तहतल किसाए क़ाल लहू वअलैका अस्सलाम या अख़ी व या वसी व ख़लीवती व साहिब लिवाई क़द अज़नतु लका फ़दख़ल अलीयुन तहतल किसाए। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला सुम्मा अतैतु नहवल किसाए वक़ुल्तु अस्सलामु अलैका या अबताहु या रसूलल्लाह अताज़ुन्नी अन अकून मअकुम तहतल किसाए क़ाल वअलैका अस्सलाम या बिन्ती व या बज़ती क़द अज़नतु लका फ़दख़लतु तहतल किसाए। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद। फ़लम्मा इक्तमल जमीअन तहतल किसाए अख़ज़ बी रसूलुल्लाह बितरफ़िल किसाए व औमा बियदिहिल युमना इलस समाए वक़ाल अल्लाहुम्मा इन्न हाउलाए अहले बैती ख़ासती व हाम्मती लहमुहुम लहमी दमुहुम दमी युअल्लिमुनी मा युअल्लिमुहुम व युहज़िनुनी मा युहज़िनुहुम अना हर्बुन लिमन हारबहुम मुस्लिमुन लिमन सालिमहुम व अदुव्वुन लिमन आदाहुम व मुहिब्बुन लिमन अहब्बहुम इन्नहुम मिन्नी व अना मिन्हुम फ़जअल सलवातिक व बरकातिक व रहमतिक व ग़ुफ़रानिक व रिज़वानिक अलैहि व अलैहिम वज़ब अन्हुम रिज्स व ताहिरहुम तत्हीरा। फ़क़ाल अल्लाहु अज़्ज़ व जल या मलाइकती व सुक्कान समावाति इन्नी मा ख़लक़्तु समाअन मबनियतन वला अर्ज़न मदियतन वला क़मरन मुनीरन वला शम्सन मज़ियतन वला फ़ल्कन यदूर वला बहरन यजरी वला फ़ुल्कन यजरी इल्ला फ़ीही महब्बतु हाउलाइल ख़म्सति लज़ीना हुम तहतल किसाए फ़क़ाल अमीनु जिब्रील या रब्बि व मन तहतल किसाए फ़क़ाल अज़्ज़ व जल हुम अहल बैतुन नबुव्वह व मअदनुर रिसालत हुम फ़ातिमतु व अबूहा व बालुहा व बनूहा। फ़क़ाल जिब्रील या रब्बि अताज़ुन्नी अन अहबतु इलल अर्ज़ि लअकून मअहुम सादिसन फ़क़ाल अल्लाहु नअम क़द अज़नतु लका फ़अहबत अमीनु जिब्रील वक़ाल अस्सलामु अलैका या रसूलल्लाह अल अलीयुल आला युक़रक़ु सलाम व युख़स्सक़ु बित्तहिय्यति वल इकराम व यक़ूलु लका व इज़्ज़ती व जलाली इन्नी मा ख़लक़्तु समाअन मबनियतन वला अर्ज़न मदियतन वला क़मरन मुनीरन वला शम्सन मुज़ियतन वला फ़ल्कन यदूर वला बहरन यजरी वला फ़ुल्कन यसरी इल्ला लिअजलिकुम व महब्बतिन क़द अज़न ली अन अदख़ुला मअकुम फ़हल ताज़न ली या रसूलल्लाह फ़क़ाल रसूलुल्लाह अलैहिस्सलाम या अमीन वहीयुल्लाह इन्नहु नाम क़द अज़नत लका फ़दख़ल जिब्रील मअना तहतल किसा अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद फ़क़ाल लबी इन्नल्लाह क़द औहा अलैकुम लियक़ूल इन्नमा युरीदुल्लाहु लियज़हिबा अन्कुम अर्रज्सा अहलल बैत व युत्ताहिरकुम तत्हीरा फ़क़ाल अली लबी या रसूलल्लाह अख़बरनी मा जलूसना हाज़ा तहतल किसाए मिन फ़ज़्ल इंदल्लाह फ़क़ाल नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वल्लज़ी बअसनी बिल हक़्क़ि नबिय्यन वस्तफ़ानी बिरिसालति नजिय्यन मा ज़ुकिरा ख़बरुना हाज़ा फ़ी महफ़िलिन मिन महफ़िलि अहलिल अर्ज़ व फ़ीहि जमअन मिन शियतिना व मुहिब्बिना इल्ला व नज़लत अलैहिम वर्रहमा व हफ़्फ़त बिहुमुल मलाइकतु वस्तग़फ़िरु लहुम अन यतफ़र्रक़ू फ़क़ाल अलैहिस्सलाम इज़न वल्लाहु हफ़्ज़न व फ़ाज़ शियतना व रब्बिल काबा फ़क़ाल भी रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि या अली वल्लज़ी बअसनी बिल हक़्क़ि नबिय्यन वस्तफ़ानी बिरिसालति नजिय्यन मा ज़ुकिरा ख़बरुना हाज़ा फ़ी महफ़िलिन मिन महफ़िलि अहलिल अर्ज़ व फ़ीहि जमअन मिन शियतिना व मुहिब्बिना व फ़ीहिम हमूम इल्ला व फ़रजल्लाहु हम्मा वला महमूम इल्ला व कशफ़ल्लाहु गम्मा वला तालिबु हाजा इल्ला व क़ज़ल्लाहुल हाजा फ़क़ाल अली अलैहिस्सलाम इज़न वल्लाहु हफ़्ज़ना व सऊदना व कज़ालिका शियतना व फ़ाज़ व सऊद फ़िद दुनिया वल आख़िरति व रब्बिल काबा अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद
Salvat. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna tainaka kasir fasalli wa bika wanhar. Inna shanaka huwal abtar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma kulli waliyakal hujjat innal hasan salvatika alayhi wa bae fi hadhi sa'a wa fi kulli sa'a waliyan wa hafizun wa qaran wa nasirun wa dalilun aina hatta تسكنوا أرضك طوى وتمتعوا فيها طويلا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نادي المسجد جاءت أن لك في نوائب قال من قام في أنجلي باسمك يا الله من البوت يا محمد لايت يا علي أدكري آمين. नारे हैदरी बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम कुल हुवल्लाहु अहद अल्लाहु समद लम यलिद व लम यूलद व लम यकुल लहू कुफुवन अहद बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम Close Rabbin Nas, Malikin Nas, Alayhin Nas, Min Shirul Waswasu, Khannas Allazi Yawaswasu, Fizur Nas, Jintiwan Nas. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Tabida bilahabi wa tabba ma agna anhu maluka. Mankasab Saisla Naranjata love you
Ratu Amma Latatu Fijidi Hablumi Masar. Nare Hadari.
बर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सलवात The share?
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
You remember what?
Not the share, the salam.
Yeah, salam.
करते माता हमारा अब्बास का पढ़ दो चलो पहले सूरह पढ़ लो उसके बाद
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma qalli waliyakal hujjat ibn al-Hasan. Salawataka alayhi wa ala abai fi hadhihi as-sa'a wa fi kulli sa'a. Waliyan wa hafizan wa khairan wa nasiran. ودليل علينا حتى تسكنه وزكاته واتمته فيها دبيلا
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانك هو الأبتر.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
Dar-e Abbas.
आज तो ज़्यादा आगे हो जाए तुम सुना दो
मैं चेक करता हूँ मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद
बराए खुशनु इमाम ज़माना अलैहिस्सलाम बुलंदतर सलावात. जनाब सकीना सलामुल्लाह अलैहा के लिए एक मरसिया पढ़ा. बानो ये आबिद को बतला रही है मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है. मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है. कह दो हवाओं से आहिस्ता आए, कह दो परिंदों से गुलना मचाए, कह दो अंधेरों से वापस न जाए, कह दो अंधेरों से वापस न जाए. जागी हुई चैन कुछ पा रही है मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है. शायद रसन की अजियत हुई कम, मध्यम करो बीबियों शोर मातम. सज्जाद जंजीर बोले न जिस दम, सज्जाद जंजीर बोले न इस दम. शायद गमों की घड़ी जा रही है मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है. जिंदा कदर जोर से अब न खोलो, एह पहरेदारो अब आहिस्ता बोलो, अरे तुम भी तो जागे हो कुछ देर सो लो, तुम भी तो जागे हो कुछ देर सो लो, बाबा की खुशबू इसे आ रही है, मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है। कि अब धड़कने दिल भी इस पर गिरा है, न भाई है नज़दीक ना इसकी माँ है, अरे कानों से खूंकों के अब भी रवा है, कानों से खूंकों के अब भी रवा है, मगर आँख भोजन ये समझा रही है, मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है। ये शामे गरीबा की जागी हुई है, तमाचों के डर से नहीं सो सकी है, ज़रा फिर गले से रसन जो खुली है, ज़रा फिर गले से रसन जो खुली है, सुकून से जो अब सांस ले पा रही है, मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है। मैं खुश हूँ कि सोएगी मेरी दुलारी, मैं कुर्बान इसके मैं अब इसके वारी, बहुत सह चुकी दुख ये गाजी की प्यारी, बहुत सह चुकी दुख ये गाजी की प्यारी, मगर नब्ज़ कुछ और बतला रही है, मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है। मगर ये हुआ क्या कि जिंदान रोया, बदन रूह के साथ बच्ची का सोया, मगर ये हुआ क्या कि जिंदान रोया, बदन रूह के साथ बच्ची का सोया, नहीं जागी वो आबिद ने शाना हिलाया, न जागी वो आबिद ने शाना हिलाया, और अब माँ ये कह भी नहीं पा रही है, मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है। अरे कहाँ तक लिखूँगा मैं रेहान नोहा, कभी शाम जाऊँ तो देखूँ वो रोज़ा, जहाँ कैदी बच्ची का मरकद है तन्हा, जहाँ कैदी बच्ची का मरकद है तन्हा, जहाँ माँ अभी भी कहे जा रही है, मेरी सकीना को नींद आ रही है। सलवात पर मोहम्मद।
बर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सलावत। न ढूंढिए हैं कहाँ ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह हो, ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह हो, ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह हो, ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह जहाँ हुसैन वहाँ ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह अली की तेग से तारीख पूछिए सबकी अली की तेग से तारीख पूछिए सबकी पढ़ा था किसने कहा ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह अगर विलायते हैदर नहीं है कलमे में अगर विलायते हैदर नहीं है कलमे में तो फिर है वहम गुमा ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह अली को दिल में बसा कर तो देख ए वाइज अली को दिल में बसा कर तो देख ए वाइज तो खुद कहेगी जुबान ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह जिसे नसीब नहीं हो बेल बैत रसूल जिसे नसीब नहीं हो बेल बैत रसूल उसे नसीब कहाँ ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह हुसैन जिंदा है जब तक ज़माना बाकी है हुसैन जिंदा है जब तक ज़माना बाकी है कहाँ यजीद कहाँ ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह अज़ान में अली अकबर ने ला इलाहा कहा अज़ान में अली अकबर ने ला इलाहा कहा तो आज तक है जवां ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह पर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु
दीगर बाबा से बुलंद आ रहे सलावत मांगो दुआ हुसैन से जाएगी मांगो दुआ हुसैन से खाली न जाएगी बातिन की तो खुदा से भी टाली न जाएगी बातिन की तो खुदा से भी टाली न जाएगी तू मजलिस हुसैन में आंसू बहा के देख तू मजलिस हुसैन में आंसू बहा के देख इतनी खुशी मिलेगी संभाली न जाएगी मांगो दुआ हुसैन से अरे सलावत
मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद।
कुछ तो है दर कुछ अली कुछ मुर्तज़ा कहने लगे कुछ तो है दर कुछ अली कुछ मुर्तज़ा कहने लगे कुछ शबे हिजरत मोहम्मद मुस्तफ़ा कहने लगे कुछ
शबे हिजरत मोहम्मद मुस्तफ़ा कहने लगे, डरते डरते हमने तो अल्लाह की कुदरत कहा, डरते डरते हमने तो अल्लाह की कुदरत कहा। तौबा तौबा ये नुसैरी तो खुदा कहने लगे, कुछ तो हैदर कुछ अली।
जज़ाकल्लाह जज़ाकल्लाह जज़ाकल्लाह, सुभान अल्लाह सुभान अल्लाह।
और मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु सलाम के 4 या 5 अशार सिर्फ। रास्ते में हार के बैठा है मुश्किलात के, रास्ते में हार के बैठा है मुश्किलात के, रास्ते में हार के ओ बदनसीब देख अली को पुकार के, बैठा है मुश्किलात के। और मरहब का कातिल भी कोई खैबर में कातिल था, मरहब का कातिल भी कोई खैबर में कातिल था। अरे फेंका था जुल्फ़िकार का सदका उतार के, और खैबर के दाने खुल के इशारा ये कर दिया। मज़हर यही है क़ुव्वते परवरदिगार के, बैठा है मुश्किलात के, रास्ते में हार के और हमसे कदम छुड़ा दे शहेज़ी वक़ार के, हमसे कदम छुड़ा दे शहेज़ी वक़ार बैठा है मुश्किलात के, और अकबर तुम्हारा बागे जवानी उजड़ गया, लैला ने चार दिल भी ना देखे बहार के, और असगर जिगर को थाम के रोती है फौजे शाम, असगर जिगर को थाम के रोती है फौजे शाम। अरे तुम तीर खा के आए हो या तीर मार के, बैठा है मुश्किलात के, अरे सलावत।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। सारी तारीफ अल्लाह के लिए, दुरूद व सलाम मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद के लिए। Mu'mineen and Mu'minat, as I was mentioning to you yesterday, Dar-e Abbas holds regularly scheduled programs throughout the Yam-e-Azha, and these programs consist of weekend majalises. To continue this effort, this weekend as well, we have scheduled a 3 majalis series, and today is the second part of this series. For these 3 majalis, we have the honor of having with us the Molana Bilal Rizvi from Dallas, Texas. Just to recap for the people who weren't here yesterday, Bilal Rizvi grew up in Dallas, Texas. He completed his Bachelor's of Science in Biology over there, and then he also completed a Master's of Science at Loyola University. And soon, inshallah, he will be going to Iraq to complete Hawza. Yes. Yes. I would just like to, on behalf of Dar-e Abbas, Mu'mineen of Dar-e Abbas and Anjuman Khamkharne Abbas, like to thank Bilal Rizvi for accepting our request to join us and give his speeches here. And would like to just invite Molana Bilal Rizvi to the minbar. Bar Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad salawat.
رحم الله من قرأ سورة الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله والصلاة والسلام على إمام القبلتين ونبي الحرمين وأفضل الثقلين وجد الحسن والحسين الذي سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأرض بأبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الصادقين والذين ذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. أما بعد قد قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله إني تارك فيكم الثقلين كتاب الله وعترة أهل بيتي ما إن تمسكتم بهما لن تضلوا بعدي أبدا فإنهما لن يفترقا حتى يرد علي الحوض. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. For the protection of the believers, for the love of Ahlul Bayt, and for the hastening of the reappearance of the master of our time, Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. When one looks at the major religions across the world, they'll see that that last major religion, which overcame the test of time and location, is the religion of Islam. That there were movements after Islam, but those movements, they were limited according to some time period, or they were located within a region. But amongst the major religions in the world, the last of those religions which withstood time and transcended location was the religion of Islam. Because this is that religion whose job is to guide mankind until the day of judgment. That's why the miracle which Rasulullah was given was a living miracle, in the sense that each prophet was given a mu'jiza, a miracle according towards his time period. That within the time period of Nabi Musa, you find that magic was the craft of its time. So Nabi Musa was given that hand which would enlighten, that hand which would be bayda, which would become white. And he was given that asa. Within the time period of Yusuf, you find the art form of the time was the interpretation and the ta'wil of dreams. So Yusuf had the ability to what? Interpret dreams better than anyone else. In the time period of Isa, you find that medicine was at its peak. So Isa would bring the dead back to life. He would cure the blind. He would heal the leper. But you find in the time period of Rasulullah that the Arabs within that time period, they would pride themselves on their Arabic. So the miracle of Rasulullah was the Quran. And the Quran is that living miracle until the day of judgment. Because other Anbiya, they were given books. But their books were for a time period. Their books, they went through altercation. But the Quran is that miracle which continues to live. You know, if I could change my words, there were two things the Arabs, they prided themselves on. The first was their Arabic. The second was their sword and their ability to fight within the battlefield. You find Rasulullah was given an answer to both. The reply to the Arabic was the Quran. The reply to their sword was the Zat of Amir al-Mu'mineen. You find this is that guidance that Rasulullah, he gave a system of guidance, that since Islam is that religion which is to guide until the day of judgment, Rasulullah, he gave a system of guidance based upon two things, and that brings me to the hadith which I gave at the beginning of the majlis. Once again, it's not a new hadith like yesterday. Hadithul Qisa, you heard this hadith, you heard as well. That he says, Inni tarikun fikum thaqalain kitab Allah wa itrati ahl bayti. You know, many people, they asked me yesterday that, are you going to continue upon Hadith al-Qisa? You know, I said it's a topic which you can recite an entire ashra upon. But sometimes you put that jazbat and that desire to learn about something within the hearts and then you move on as well. But what I did is that I'll analyze another hadith tonight, which is this hadith. You know, as I said yesterday, that oftentimes we've heard these narrations. These aren't new narrations to you, but it's about reflection to receive the benefit from those narrations. Because after all, if you want to look at the value of reflection and thinking, I'll give you one hadith and I'll give you one example in history. The hadith of Rasulullah, it states that 1 hour of reflection is greater than 70 years of worship. That's 70 years. Imagine worshipping for 70 years. You know, on Laylatul Qadr, when we try to recite those 1,000 rakat, that's not easy as well. Now imagine 70 years. But if you want to look at the practical example of how 1 hour of reflection can be better, then look at Hur on Shab-e Ashura. That Hur, he said, I find myself in between heaven and hell. That Hur upon that night could have done blind worship, but he spent 1 hour reflecting. What did he reflect about? He reflected about the position of Sayyid al-Shuhada. That 1 hour of Hur changed him from being la'natullah alayhi until the day of judgment to being alayhi salam until the day of judgment. The hadith says 1 hour is better than 70 years of what? Of blind worship, and that worship which doesn't include the wajibat. But you find that Hur, he changes his destiny, and this is what the Imam does. The Imam, if there is goodness within the heart, he extracts that goodness. You know, I always say that shimmer did not become shimmer overnight. That it was a consistent lifestyle which led him towards that point. But the Imam is that individual, even if there is one light of hidayat within that person, he's able to get that guidance. That's why when the Imam, he speaks to Hur, he says a line to Hur. He says, O Hur, may your mother weep over you, O Hur. Hur, he replies by saying that, O Hussein, if your mother was anyone other than Fatima, I would say the same thing towards you. The Urafa, they state that with that one line which the Imam, he gave to Hur, he made a 100-year journey in spirituality, because at that moment he recognized who the mother of Hussein was, and that recognition, it led him to change upon Shab-e Ashura. You see, the Imam, he picks his words very specifically, that this is the reality of that Imam alongside the Quran, and the way the Quran guides, the Imam, he guides. Now let's look at the hadith. Inni tarikun fikum ath-thaqalain. That I leave behind two weighty things, not weighty in the sense of physical weight, but weighty in the sense of importance. And Rasulullah, he doesn't say that I am making these appointment, I am making these a hujjah after me. He's saying I am leaving them. That not even Rasulullah has the right to appoint. The right to appoint, it is only for Allah. That's why wherever the word Khalifa comes up within the Quran, the word Ja'il comes in the Quran. Ja'il, it means to make. That Ya Dawood, inna ja'alnaka khalifatan fil ard. Inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. That Ya Dawood, I'm making you a caliph upon this earth. That's speaking about Adam, we are making him a khalifa upon this earth. But Rasulullah over here is saying that I am leaving behind these two things, not I am making these two things. You find the Prophet, he continues. He says, Kitab Allah wa itrati ahl bayti. And over here, I ask you a question. That Rasulullah, he doesn't say Quran, he says Kitab. Then you know, you would think that Quran is the famous name of the book of Allah. That why does Rasulullah not say Quran? Why does he say Kitab? You find the answer comes from the root in Arabic. Quran, it comes from qira'at and recitation. Kitab, it is something which is maktub, which is written. That this hadith is evidence that the Quran was compiled within the lifetime of Rasulullah. That if it wasn't a kitab in the lifetime of Rasulullah, those who are hearing the hadith, they would say, Ya Rasulullah, there is no kitab. Why are you saying Kitab Allah in this situation? He says, I leave behind the book of Allah. And you know the Quran, it says, Inna alayna jam'ahu wa Quranahu, that it is upon us to compile this book, and the recitation of it is upon us. That Rasulullah, who took care of every aspect of the religion under the command of Allah, that he would take care of every aspect, but he would leave the compilation of the book to individuals who just recently became Muslim 10 years ago. You find this is outside the fold of logic. And this is why he gives this formula, that if you want to stay guided, if you don't want to go astray, then attach yourself to the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt. And you find this is that hadith which is mentioned within all sources, Shia and non-Shia. When you look within the Sahih as-Sitta, nowhere within the Sahih as-Sitta does it say Quran and Sunnah. There is not one hadith which says Quran and Sunnah. The first individual to write Quran and Sunnah was Malik in his Muwatta. But you find within the 6 primary sources, it says Quran and Ahlul Bayt. For example, I'll give you one example. In Sahih al-Muslim, you find in the chapter of the virtues of the companions, in that section about the virtues of Ali, the Ravi is Zayd bin Arqam. Zayd bin Arqam, he narrates that on the way back from Hajj, we stopped at a pond called Ghadir. When we stopped at a pond called Ghadir, Rasulullah, he said that I leave behind 2 weighty things, the book of Allah, a light and a guidance, and I leave behind my progeny. Then he says, Udakkirukum fi ahli bayti, Udakkirukum fi ahli bayti, Udakkirukum fi ahli bayti, that I remind you about my Ahlul Bayt, I remind you about my Ahlul Bayt, I remind you about my Ahlul Bayt. That within Sahih Muslim, it says that Rasulullah, he said it 3 times, I remind you about my Ahlul Bayt alayhumus salam. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. You find this is that reality. Any hadith to lower the position of Ahlul Bayt was an attack against them. Why? Because after the Quran is revealed, they cannot change the verses of the Quran. Because one of the proofs to the authenticity of the Quran is that so many different individuals memorize the Quran in different places that if you bring forth a verse which has changed people, they would know immediately. That is stated in history in the Battle of Yamama that 700 huffaz and memorizers of the Quran, they were killed just within that battle. That's how widespread the Quran it was. But when they couldn't change the verses of the Quran, they began to change the interpretation of the Quran. That's why upon the day of Siffin, there was an individual on the day of Siffin. He comes to Amir al-Mu'mineen. He says, Ya Ali, on the other side there is this person and that person. Then he says, on your side is this person. Ali says, if you want answers, go to Ammar. The man, he goes to Ammar. Ammar, he speaks to the man. He says to that man, you see that alam, you see that flag on the side of Muawiyah. That flag used to be on the side of Abu Sufyan when Rasulullah was alive. And you see that flag on the side of Ali. That flag used to be with Rasulullah when Rasulullah was alive. The difference is this. Over that time period, the battle was over the revelation of the Quran. Now the battle is over the interpretation of the Quran. That the words of Ammar bin Yasir, that when in early Islam it was over revelation and belief within Islam. Now it's about interpretation of the Quran. And this is why when the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt are together, you get that proper interpretation. You know, Allah in the Quran, chapter 15 verse 87, there's a Quranic ayat. It says, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَاكَ سَبْعًا مِنَ الْمَثَانِ وَالْقُرْآنَ الْعَظِيمِ, that Ya Rasulullah, we have given you the 7 repeated, yani sab'an min al-matani wal-Qur'an al-azim. You know, the ulama, they discuss that what is the 7 repeated? That from the outward level, they agreed that it was Surah Al-Fatiha. That why was Surah Al-Fatiha called Sab'an min al-Mathani? It was called this because one opinion is that it was revealed twice, once in Makkah, once in Medina. No, another opinion is this, is that when you go to a wajib prayer, you recite Fatiha 2 times, it's mandatory, so it's repeated. No, a third opinion is this, is there are 7 words in Surah Al-Fatiha Fatiha which are repeated. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah, the word Allah is repeated. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. You find Rahman, Rahim are repeated. Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyaka Na'budu wa Iyaka Nasta'een. You find Iyaka is repeated. Ahdina Sirat al-Mustaqim. Sirat is repeated. Then it's Sirat al-Ladina An'amta alayhim. Alayhim is repeated. The sixth word. Ghayr al-Maghdubi alayhim wal-Dhalin. That Ghayr and La, they have the same meaning within Arabic, so it's repeated. That this is that which is repeated, that this is the value of Fatiha. But no, there's a narration of the seventh Imam. The seventh Imam says that the outward of this verse, he says the outward of this verse is Fatiha, but the batin of this verse is us Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. Why? When you look at the name of the 14, you find 7 names, they come up, but they are repeated. That the name of Rasulullah, the name of Zahra, the name of Amir al-Mu'mineen, the name of Imam Hassan, the name of Imam Hussein, the name of Imam al-Sadiq, the name of Imam al-Qadim, Musa and Ja'far. These 7, they come up for the first time, but then they're repeated. That you look what? You look Imam Ali Zainul Abidin, the name Ali is repeated. Muhammad al-Baqir, the name Muhammad is repeated. The name Ali al-Rida, the name Ali is repeated. Muhammad al-Jawad, the name Muhammad is repeated. Ali al-Hadi, the name Ali is repeated. Hassan al-Askari, the name Hassan is repeated. Muhammad al-Mahdi, ajjalallahu ta'ala farajah al-Sharif. So you find that these 7, that these are repeated, that the batin of this ayat, the Imam, he says is Ahlul Bayt. Because when you have verses of the Quran, the verses of the Quran, they have layers and they can have multiple meanings towards them. It's not just one meaning. But you find these Ahlul Bayt, they were put aside the miracle of Rasulullah, the Quran. That what is this Quran? You know, this Quran, it issues a challenge. It says, Fa'atu bi suratin min mithlihi. That bring one chapter from this Quran. First it said bring the entire Quran. Then it said no, bring 10 chapters. Then it said no, if you can't even do that, bring one chapter. Bring something like Surat al-Kawthar, just that small. You find in that time period when Surat al-Kawthar was revealed, there used to be a poet in that time by the name of Shah. Sheen Ain, Sheen Ain. Shah, he wouldn't speak all year. That he was a poet, he wanted to maintain his eloquence. He would say that if I speak, sometimes I'll be eloquent, sometimes I won't have fasad. Yani Shah wasn't the khatib of Nahjul Balagha, that his eloquence, it remains at that peak. He would say sometimes I would have eloquence, sometimes I won't. So what he would do is that once a year there would be an exhibit and he would give his poetry. The rest of the year he would remain silent. And if anyone wanted to fix their poetry, bring it on the pattern, take it away from the pattern, he would mark on their poetry, but he wouldn't say anything. You find they go to Shah. They say Surat al-Kawthar has been revealed. Now we can take this to Shah, this poet who is the best of poets. He can come up with an answer for Surat al-Kawthar. You find they take Surat al-Kawthar to Shah. He looks at it one time. He wants to mark, but he doesn't mark anything. He looks at it a second time. Then the third time when he looks at it, that Shah who wouldn't speak all year, he says one line. He says, Ma hada min al-bashar, that this isn't from the words of any single human being. That this is that reality of the Quran. That bring one chapter like this Quran, but on the other side the Ahlul Bayt are next to the Quran. That's why one alim would say that if the world it tried to bring just one leader like any of the Imams of Ahlul Bayt, they would fail to do so. But Allah has given us 12 leaders who are at that capability. That if the world tries to bring just one of them, it would fail to do so. But we have 12 who are of that caliber in that situation. You find this is that reality of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. And in tonight's hadith, this analysis, I'll look at a few points about the connection between Ahlul Bayt and the Quran. The first point, when it comes to the relationship between the Ahlul Bayt and the Quran is this, is that the Ahlul Bayt supported the position of the Quran and the Quran supported the position of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. That this is the first point. When it comes to the recitation of the Quran, there are hadith after hadith which emphasize its recitation. Our fourth Imam, Imam Zainul Abidin, salamullahi alayhi. Imam Zainul Abidin would say that if no human being was alive in the world from the east to the west, that within the Mashriq and the Maghrib no individual was left, and all I had was the Quran, even then I wouldn't feel any loneliness within my life. No other narrations they state that when somebody recites the Quran upon this earth, when the Quran is recited in someone's home, in the way you look at the skies and see the stars, the dwellers of the heavens, they see that house and it's that same light which is coming out of that house. No, a third narration of the sixth, Rasulullah would state that every day recite 10 verses of the Quran. That when you recite 10 verses of the Quran, you will not be amongst the ghafileen. You know, there's a difference between ghafil and jahil. When somebody is jahil, ignorant, you have to teach them. But when somebody is ghafil, you have to wake them up because it's already within them. That the answers are already within you. You say, Ahdina sirat al-mustaqim within salat. That you say, oh Allah, keep us upon the straight path, not guide us to the straight path. You know, the king of Rome, he sent Amir al-Mu'mineen a letter. He said, Ya Ali, whenever you pray within this chapter, you say, guide us to the straight path. Is Islam not the straight path? Amir al-Mu'mineen said that sometimes words, they have multiple meanings. That if you are sitting down and I said to you, Qum, you would stand up. But if you are standing and I said to you, Qum, you would remain standing. In the same way, when we say, Ahdina sirat al-mustaqim, we are not saying guide us to the straight path, we are saying keep us on the straight path. That's why in salat we say, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, not Ameen. It's not a dua, we are thanking Allah, we have the path of Ali Muhammad. That we're thanking Allah, we're upon that path. You see, this is that Ahlul Bayt who explains the verses of the Quran. And when you look at this reality, that when Ahlul Bayt, they emphasize the Quran, the Rasulullah says, if you recite 10 verses, you are not from amongst the ghafileen. If you recite 50 verses every day, you are from amongst the dhakireen and those who remember Allah. And if you recite 100 verses every day, you're amongst the qaniteen and those obedient servants of Allah. And when you look at the individuals on the day of Ashura, you look at an individual like Burair ibn Khudayr. You know, Burair is an individual, we hear his name within Martiya and Noha, but we don't know who he is. Burair was that individual who was known for being a reciter of the Quran. That when Tabari is not a Shia, when Tabari would write about Burair, he would give Burair the title Sayyid al-Qurra. That he is the head of the reciters of the Quran. That these are the ashab of Imam al-Hussein. These are those individuals who traveled to the highest realms of spirituality. Because on one side they held on to the Quran, the other side they held on to Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. That you know what is the spirituality of the companions of Hussein? You know, one hadith of the Imam states that when the companions of Imam al-Hussein on the day of Ashura, when those arrows would go into their bodies, they wouldn't feel any pain. Now some people, when they tried to understand this hadith, they looked at it from the angle of physics. They thought that their pain receptors were taken away. No, this is incorrect. You have to look at that metaphysical angle. You know, I'll give you an example from the Quran. In the Quran, when the women of Egypt, they saw the beauty of Yusuf after Zulaykha was accused. When they saw Yusuf, the Quran says, فَقْطَ أَيْدِيَهُنَّ. They began to cut their hands, but they didn't feel any pain because they saw the beauty of Yusuf. These companions of Hussein are those individuals. They were looking at the beauty and the message of Hussein, that they didn't feel any pain when those arrows were going through them. That who are these ashab of Hussein? Allah. Who are these ashab of Imam al-Hussein in spirituality? You know, forget the members of Ahlul Bayt. We haven't even understood those companions who are outside Ahlul Bayt. That if you understand an individual like Habib ibn Madahir, that Habib, one day it's written in history, in the authentic sources of history, that Habib, he's sitting there looking at the Furat. As he's looking at the Furat, a man, he comes up to Habib. He says, "Oh Habib, what are you seeing within the Furat?" Habib replies by saying that Muawiyah has just passed away. My master Ali is that individual who taught me ilm al-balaya wal-manaya, that this is the reality of Habib ibn Madahir. But when you look at even the individuals who are from the members of Ahlul Bayt, how great must they be? You know, they said to an alim, who is greater? Who did the Imam love more, Abbas or Ali Akbar? Abbas or Ali Akbar? That alim, he replied by saying that when you look at the asma and the names of Allah, the names of Allah can be divided into two categories. One side you have the names of Jamal and the beauty of Allah, names such as Rahman, Rahim, the merciful. The other side you have names of Jalal, the grandeur of Allah, His power. You find in the same way the Imam has two sides, the Jalal of the Imam and the Jamal of the Imam. You find Abbas represents the Jalal of the Imam, Akbar represents the Jamal of the Imam. That's why he said Abbas was more Aziz, but Akbar was more Muhib. That even being Aziz is a type of love, but they are both equal, but there are different type of love. This is the difference between Abbas and Ali Akbar. These are those individuals. They held the cloth of Ahlul Bayt, but on the other side they held onto the Quran as well to go to the highest of levels. Now I'll give you one more example before moving on. You look at in history at an individual like Janab-e Fidda. You know, it's stated about Fidda that for 20 years she did not recite anything except Quran. For 20 years, she did not recite anything except Quran. You know, there's an incident in history. The narrator is Abdullah al-Mubarak. He says, when I was in the desert, I saw this lady, Janab-e Fidda, he was speaking about. I saw her within the desert. So I came up to her. I said, what is your name? She replies by saying, فَقُلْ سَلَامٌ فَسَوْفَ يَعْلَمُونَ. She says, say salam and soon they shall know. Meaning, say salam to me first. This is the etiquette. Then I said to her, what? I said to this lady that, oh lady, are you lost? She says, وَمَن يَهْدِ اللَّهَ فَمَا لَهُ مِن مُضِلٍّ. The one who Allah guides can never be lost. Meaning she uses the verse of the Quran to tell that individual, I am lost. Then he thinks to himself that I asked her two questions. Both times she replied with verses from the Quran. Is she even a human being? I said to her, are you a jinn or a human? She says, Ya Bani Adam, khudu zinatakum inda kulli masjid. O son of Adam, put on your adornment when you go to the place of worship. I said, from that I understood that she is a human being. Then I said to her, where are you going? She replies by saying, Ulaika yunaduna min makanin ba'id. That they called off from a far off place, that I'm coming from a far place. Then he said, what is your destination? She replies by saying, وَلِلنَّاسِ عَلَى اللَّهِ حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ. That Allah has said for the people to go towards Hajj, I am going towards Hajj. He says, from that, I knew she was going towards Hajj. Then I said to her that how long have you been lost for? She said, وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا فِي سِتَّةِ أَيَّامٍ. That we created the heavens and the earth and that which is in between in 6 days. I have been lost for 6 days. Then I said to her, that you are lost, are you hungry, do you want any food? She replies by saying, وَمَا جَعَلْنَاهُمْ جَسَدًا لَا يَأْكُلُونَ الطَّعَامَ. That we did not make them bodies that they don't eat food, meaning that I am hungry. That each time she keeps answering from the Quran verse after verse. The man, he then says to her, you see that caravan, it's going towards Hajj. Why don't you run after that caravan? She replies by saying, La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha. That Allah does not give a nafs more than it can handle. Meaning I don't have the capabilities to run after that. Then he says to her after that, he says very well. He says very well, you can't go after that, I'll get upon my camel and ride with me. She replies by saying, لَوْ كَانَ فِيهِمَا آلِهَةً إِلَّا اللَّهَ لَفَسَدَتَا. That if there were gods besides Allah, there would be fasad, meaning you are non-mahram to me. That if I get on the camel with you, this would be fasad and corruption. That man, he says very well. After that, I'll get off the camel, you can ride the camel. As she is on the camel and the man's going, they see 4 individuals from a distance. He says, do you know those 4 individuals? She replies with 4 verses from the Quran. She says, Ya Dawood, inna ja'alnaka khalifatan fil ard, wa ma Muhammadun illa rasul. Ya Yahya khudil kitab bil quwa. Ya Musa inni ana Allah. That their names are Dawood and Musa and Yahya, and their names are Muhammad. He says, you know their names, who are these individuals? She replies by saying, Al-malu wal-banun zinatul hayat ad-dunya. That your wealth and your children are the zinat within this world. The man says, from this I understood that these were her children. When she goes towards her children, she gives the line which the daughters of Shoaib gave towards her father. She says, Ya abate istajirhu, pay him. They give money towards that man who helped their mother. Then she says, Inna Allaha yudha'ifu liman yasha. That Allah increases for the one whom He wishes, meaning give him more. That man, he says, that who is your mother? Every question I asked her, she replied with verses from the Quran. They replied by saying, our mother is Fidda, the servant of Fatima, the daughter of Rasulullah. And it's been 20 years that she has spoken nothing except for Quran. These are the servants of Ali Muhammad when it comes to the Quran. And you find on the other side, in the way Ahlul Bayt emphasized the Quran, it emphasized the position of Ahlul Bayt time after time. You know, I could go through so many ayat. But you know, when they asked Amir al-Mu'mineen, they said, Ya Ali, what is your favorite verse of virtue in your praise? Now one who doesn't have virtues, he can answer very quickly. But that Ali, that if the oceans were ink and the trees were pen and the jinns were counting and the human beings were writing and the fadail of Ali wouldn't finish. Now they're asking Ali, Ya Ali, what is your favorite verse with your fadail and virtues? Amir al-Mu'mineen, he replies immediately. He says that verse of the Quran which says, وَيَقُولُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لَسْتَ مُرْسَلًا قُلْ كَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَكُمْ وَمَنْ عِنْدَهُ He said, when the disbelievers say that you are not a prophet, say to them, enough between us and you is that Allah is a witness and the one who has the knowledge of Al-Kitab. You know, when it says Al-Kitab, this Al, it emphasizes the entire book. You know, when the Quran, it talks about the successor of Sulaiman, Asif bin Barqiyah. It says Ilmun min al-Kitab, that this individual had knowledge from the book. But when it mentions Amir al-Mu'mineen in this verse, it said he is that man who had the knowledge of the entire book. And Amir al-Mu'mineen, he replies by saying that the reason that this was my favorite verse in my praise is because next to Allah, my name was mentioned in giving witness towards the prophethood of Rasulullah. You know, about this incident, there's a narration of our fifth Imam, Imam Muhammad al-Baqir, salamullahi alayhi. This narration, it's mentioned in Al-Kafi. Shaykh Qulaini, he mentions it in Al-Kafi. It's mentioned in Haqqul Yaqeen, it's mentioned in Bihar, it's mentioned in Safinatul Bihar. And you know, if Allah ever asked for more than 4 witnesses, I would have given you more references as well. But when you look at this narration, they said to the Imam, that could Sulaiman not have brought the throne of the queen of Bilqis by himself? That Bilqis' throne, the queen of Sheba, could he have not brought the throne by himself? That why did he have to ask somebody? And when he asked one of the jinn, they replied by saying that I can get the throne before you stand up. But then Asif bin Barqiyah, he said that I can get it before the blink of an eye. Imam Muhammad al-Baqir, he replies by saying that Sulaiman could have gotten the throne by himself, but he wanted his ummah to know what the status of his wasi and his successor is. Then the Imam, he continues by saying that Asif had one of the 73 Asma'ul Adam. Asif had one out of 73, that he was able to bring the throne from one side towards another side. He says, us Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, we have 72 out of the 73 Asma'ul Adam. That if the successor of Sulaiman is at that level in relation towards the knowledge of the book, these are the successors of Rasulullah. These are the successors of Rasulullah. So you see, the Quran, it supports Ahlul Bayt in the way Ahlul Bayt supported Quran, and this was the first point. The second point in the relationship to the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt is that the Quran is the theory and the Ahlul Bayt are the practical to the theory. You know, oftentimes people in science and different subjects, they theorize, they come up with theories. But those theories, they don't go farther than the paper, that you can't put them into practice. Now, if somebody were to say that the level of the morality of the Quran, the ethics that the Quran demands is way too high, you find that Ahlul Bayt would be the practical example to the Quran. That if you want to see the Quran in walking form, look at Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. And if you want to see the Ahlul Bayt in a written form, go and look at the Quran. That's why when one of the wives was asked that how did you find Rasulullah, she said khalquhu kal Quran, that his character was exactly like the Quran. Now what is that reality? You know, this reality is this, is that when you look at the verses of the Quran and you compare those verses of praise to the seed of Ahlul Bayt, you find at the forefront the Ahlul Bayt, they come towards those verses. That's why Rasulullah would say, every verse that says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who believe, the Amir and the head of that verse is Ali ibn Abi Talib. That every verse that says, O you who believe, the forefront of that verse is Amir al-Mu'mineen. I'll give you an example. If the Quran says, Lan tanalul birra hatta tunfiqu mimma tuhibbun, that you'll never have piety until you'll never have goodness until you give that which you love the most. That the Quran, you know, oftentimes when we're asked to donate, we take that pair of shirt, those pair of clothes that we haven't worn in 20, 25 years to take out. But the Quran is saying that if you want to attain piety, give away that which you love the most. When you go towards generosity, you know, the greatness of Amir al-Mu'mineen is this. Sometimes when you have individuals, they have certain virtues that, for example, in bravery they'll be at the top, but in knowledge they'll be at 0. Or in bravery they'll be at the top, in generosity they'll be at 0. But Amir al-Mu'mineen is that individual whose virtues and his fadail, they were balanced at one level. You know, they would talk about the generosity of Hatim al-Ta'i. That Hatim was an individual, that he was before Rasulullah, but his generosity was such that it even became an expression in Arabic, that you have the generosity of Hatim. You know, they came to Amir al-Mu'mineen. They said, Ya Ali, who is more generous, you or Hatim al-Ta'i? Amir al-Mu'mineen, he replies by saying that Hatim used to have a complex. In that complex, there were 40 doors. What Hatim would do is that when somebody would ask from the first door, he would give towards them. Then when they would knock at the second door, he would change his clothes, cover his face so they didn't recognize him, and he would give towards them. Then third and fourth, and he would continue to do this. They said, Ya Ali, are you more generous than this individual? Amir al-Mu'mineen replied by saying that if you came to my door, I would give so much in that first time that you wouldn't have to go towards any other door. That when you come to the door of Ali ibn Abi Talib, you don't have to go anywhere else when you have his example. That who else can embody the Quran like Amir al-Mu'mineen? That's why again on the day of Siffin, to stop the battle, you find the side of Muawiyah. They place 400 Quran upon the spear on that day. When they post those Qurans upon the spear, they come towards Amir al-Mu'mineen. They say, Ya Ali, we are Muslims, they are Muslims. They put the Quran upon the spear. Amir al-Mu'mineen replies by saying, yes, the Quran is upon the spear, but I am the Quranun Natiq, I am that speaking Quran. If you want to understand what the Quran is saying right now, what the application of the Quran in this situation is, then go towards Amir al-Mu'mineen. So you find second point, that Quran is theory, Ahlul Bayt are practical. The third point is that the Quran is the textbook, Ahlul Bayt are the teachers of the book. That whenever you go in history, it has been the principle of mankind for society whenever it's been, that wherever there have been textbooks, wherever there have been sources of knowledge, there were interpreters and those who would help you understand that source. And the one who teaches the book has to be at least equivalent towards the book itself. That if you don't understand the book, then you can't teach it towards anyone else. It's only simple logic. You find what is the knowledge within the Quran for Ahlul Bayt to have that level of knowledge. The Quran, it says, وَلَا رَتْبٍ وَلَا يَابِسٍ إِلَّا فِي كِتَابٍ مُبِينٍ. That there is nothing wet, there is nothing dry except for it is within this Quran. You know, the Quran, it gave us the principle towards every single act. That it gave us the principle that maybe specifics aren't within the Quran, but it gave the principles of how to solve that. You know, on one side it says, وَلَا رَتْبٍ وَلَا يَابِسٍ إِلَّا فِي كِتَابٍ مُبِينٍ. On the other side, the Quran, it highlights to a group that the knowledge of everything was within them. That's why when you look within Surah Yasin, it says, كُلُّ شَيْءٍ أَحْسَيْنَاهُ فِي إِمَامٍ مبين ولا رطب ولا يابس إلا في كتاب مبين. Then it says everything is in what? Imam Mubin. That who is this Imams? You know, they came to Imam al-Sadiq salamullahi alayhi. Imam al-Sadiq, he said, they narrate from him that he would say that everything is within the Quran, that the knowledge of the heavens and the earth is within the Quran. The knowledge of heaven and hell is within the Quran. The knowledge of what was and what is to come is within the Quran, and I understand this knowledge like it's the palm of my hand. Now you see, now it's saying that everything is within the Quran. If I give you a simple example, that how to program my phone, is this within the Quran as well? The Quran, it says, وَلَا رَتْبٍ وَلَا يَابِسٍ إِلَّا فِي كِتَابٍ مُبِينٍ. But you find the Quran, it gives a principle towards everything. And I'll answer this question with a hadith. They come towards the Imam. According to their time period, they asked a similar question, which was a minuscule question. They said to the Imam that, oh Imam, you say everything is in the Quran. Does it say how to make bread within the Quran? Yani roti banana Quran mein, like does it say within the Quran? The Imam says it does say within the Quran. It says, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. That ask the people of knowledge about that which you don't know. That it's giving a principle over here that when you don't have knowledge of a subject, go towards the experts of that subject. But you find these individuals, this Ahl al-Dhikr, these Ahlul Bayt are those individuals who have that knowledge of the Quran. You know, on the day of Ghadir, right? Rasulullah, after he appoints Amir al-Mu'mineen on the day of Ghadir, he narrates this narration. He says, Inni tarikun fikum al-thaqalain. When the hands of Rasulullah were saying it, the hands were like this, then the hands they became like this. You know, hadith. The hadith, they have different words for how an individual's hands they were. For example, one hadith says, Ana wa qafilul yatim fil jannah ka hatain. That they are like these two individuals. That me and the one who takes care of an orphan in heaven, Rasulullah is saying, are like these two fingers who are side by side. I said if an individual takes care of a regular orphan, he is right next to Rasulullah. What about that individual who took care of the greatest orphan in history, Rasulullah? Then you find this is one angle. You find this is one angle. He says kal hatain. But in Arabic, each finger has a name. The first finger in Arabic is called sababa. It's called sababa. The second finger is called wusta. Now listen to the hadith. They say to Imam as-Sadiq, oh Imam, on the day of Ghadir, when Rasulullah said, I leave behind two weighty things, the Quran and Ahlul Bayt, how were the hands of Rasulullah? Rasulullah said it wasn't, Imam as-Sadiq said it wasn't sababa and wusta. It was two sababas right next to each other. That what is the difference? That one is bigger, one is smaller. But when he said, I leave behind two things, the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt, you find they were mentioned right next to each other. These are those two fingers that when you look at them, they are the same upon both sides. That's why if you want to know anyone who has the knowledge of the Quran from his birth, then look at Amir al-Mu'mineen. You know when Fatima bint Asad, after she goes into the Kaaba, Amir al-Mu'mineen is born, 3 days they pass. They say to Fatima bint Asad, is there anything wrong with the child? She says, nothing is wrong. There is light that comes from his forehead, that even when I was inside the Kaaba was illuminated with the light from his face. But she said one thing. She said, it's been 3 days, this child hasn't opened his eyes. At that moment, Rasulullah said, put Ali within my eyes. When Rasulullah, he takes Ali into his arms, Amir al-Mu'mineen, he opens his eyes in the arms of Rasulullah. Rasulullah says, Ya Ali, in the way you specified, in the way you made your sights makhsus for me, I made my ilm and knowledge makhsus and specific for you, O Ali. After that, after that, Rasulullah, he puts his tongue within the mouth of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Amir al-Mu'mineen says, Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah. You know, Rasulullah was always a prophet, but at the age of 40, he openly announced his prophethood. But Amir al-Mu'mineen is that individual, even before he openly announces his prophethood, he says, Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah. Then he says, Oh Rasulullah, if you tell me, I will recite the Torah. If you tell me, I will recite the Injil. If you tell me, I will recite the Zabur. If you tell me, I will recite the Quran. At that moment, all historians have written that Amir al-Mu'mineen, he started reciting Surah al-Mu'minun. I say, Ya Ali. I say, Ya Ali. You know Surah al-Fatiha is the first chapter. You know Surah al-Fatiha is the first chapter. But look at the one who is reciting. It's that individual who is Amir al-Mu'mineen. That one. This is who the Ahlul Bayt are. This is who the Ahlul Bayt are. Because our criteria, Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah. Astaghfirullah. This is why. This is why our criteria of leadership isn't just being a hafiz and a memorizer of the Quran. Our criteria is being a muhafiz and a protector of the Quran. This is our criteria. You find this was that next level. That the Ahlul Bayt are those interpreters of the Quran. They are the teachers of the Quran. The Quran itself says there are verses which are muhkam, that are clear. There are verses that are mutashabih, allegorical. If you want to understand the allegorical, go to that group who is rasikhuna fil ilm, who is grounded within knowledge. And this was that third relation. But the fourth relationship within the Quran and Ahlul Bayt, and I'll conclude upon this, is that the Ahlul Bayt are the inheritors of the book. And whatever attributes are in the mirat and the inheritance, they must be within the inheritors as well. That whatever attributes are within the Quran, they must be within Ahlul Bayt. Because on one level they are the inheritors, from the second level they were compared with the Quran. That if you're being compared with the book, there must be some similarities with the book. Now let's go and look what the Quran says about the Quran. The Quran, it says in chapter 17 verse 82, وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ شِفَاءٌ وَرَحْمَةٌ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَلَا يَزِيدُ الظَّالِمِينَ إِلَّا خَسَارٍ. It says what we have revealed within this Quran is a healing and a mercy for the believers. And it doesn't increase the disbelievers in anything except for loss. You find the Quran is a healing. Healing on the physical sense, there are hadith would say that the verses and the chapters of the Quran are like du'as and supplications as well. For example, one narration says within Fatiha there is a cure for everything except for death. But you find on another level, when there are moral and spiritual illnesses within society, you find the Quran, it clears those problems, it heals those problems. That's why there is a difference between shifa and rahmah. The Quran, it says shifa and rahmah. You know, the difference between these two, to explain simply, is this. Shifa is to purify you. Shifa, it purifies you. But rahmah is a form of zina. It is a form of adornment. It is a form of beauty. That after you have that shifa, only then you can be at a level who receives the mercy of Allah. And then it says it doesn't increase the disbelievers in anything except for loss. In the way the Quran is shifa, you find that the remembrance of Ahlul Bayt is shifa as well. That these are those individuals who are a mercy. These are those individuals who cure when there are problems within the hearts of an individual. This is that first reality. Now the second level between them is this, is that when you have the Quran, you show respect to the Quran. That even if it's a book of hadith, you don't put it on top of the Quran. That when it's a book of hadith, even a book of hadith, you don't place it on top of the Quran. In the same way, you don't put anyone ahead of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. Even when you go to ziyarah, within Karbala or Najaf, and may Allah grant you the ziyarah of Ahlul Bayt, you find you never pray in front of the zari, you pray behind the zari. Because salat doesn't happen in front of the imam. What else does the Quran say about the Quran? The Quran, it says, La yamassuhu illa al-mutahharun. That none can touch this book except for those who are mutahharun, those who have been made purified. On one level, it means that when you touch the Quran, be in wudu, be in tayammum. But no, on another level, no one can understand this Quran except for those who are purified. Look in the Quran, the only group which has been granted a guarantee of purification is chapter 33 verse 33, when it says innama yuridullah liyudhiba ankum ritsa ahlil bayt wa yutahhirakum tatheera. These are individuals, you know. These are those individuals that rijs was kept away from them. You know, sometimes when you look at the Quran, when it's translated, some they say that rijs and impurities were removed from them. It's incorrect. That this is not the translation of the school of Ahlul Bayt. When you have a Quran within your home, make sure it is translated by a scholar from the school of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. Because the translation of the Quran is a tafsir of the Quran in one form as well. It's about the translator too. But when you look at this, you find this is that group who has been purified. La yamassuhu illa al-mutahharun. You know, I asked you the question. I said that everything is in the Quran, then why don't we find it? Sometimes we don't have the qualifications to find it. You know, if I place in front of you an x-ray and you're not a medical doctor, everything is within the x-ray to make the diagnosis. But the problem is we don't have the qualifications. We don't have the eyes to see it. But when you put it in front of the radiologist, he finds everything. Although it's there, but we don't see it. In the same way, the Quran is an infallible book. We don't see everything within the Quran. But when you put it in front of the eyes of the Ma'soom, the infallible, he begins to interpret the Quran. What else is within this Quran? The Quran, it says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alif, Lam, Mim, Dhalik al-Kitabu, La Rayba, Fi Hudan lil-Muttaqeen. That there is no doubt within this book. And this book is a guidance for those who are muttaqeen, those who are God-weary. You know, Allama Tabatabai in Al-Mizan, he says there are two levels of guidance from the Quran. The first level is if you don't believe in the Quran. Even then it can benefit you. But the second level is that when you believe in the Quran, you believe in the tenets of Islam, you find the Quran, it becomes a code for your life. That's why it says, Hudan lil-Muttaqeen. In the same way, there are two levels with Ahlul Bayt. Anyone in humanity can benefit from Ahlul Bayt. That anyone in humanity can benefit from Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. You know, there was an individual, George Jordak. George Jordak, he writes a book about Imam Ali. Sawtul Adalat al-Insaniya, that Imam Ali, the voice of human justice. That if justice had a voice, that voice, his name is Ali. You know, George Jordak, people, they know about this book. But what they don't know is how Jordak became inspired by Amir al-Mu'mineen. He says, a friend of mine had Nahjul Balagha. He gave me Nahjul Balagha. I took the book out of the love of my friend. That this is a productive friendship, that they exchange thoughts and ideas. You find, he said, I opened Nahjul Balagha. At that point, I saw Ali was talking about a scientific fact which wasn't discovered. So I said that this is a man who lived 1400 years ago. I'll close the book. I won't open it again. He says that night, as I was watching a television program, I saw the same discovery which Ali had mentioned within Nahjul Balagha. Then he says, from that moment in my mid-30s until today, I have read Nahjul Balagha over 200 times, and each time I gain something which I didn't gain the previous time. I say this individual is a Christian, he's not a Muslim. He says he's read Nahjul Balagha over 200 times. Now I ask us as the followers of Ahlul Bayt, and myself is included in this question, that have we even opened Nahjul Balagha 200 times? That he is saying each time I gain something which I didn't gain the previous time. This is that reality of Ahlul Bayt. The benefit of Ahlul Bayt, you find the same thing within the Quran. But the Quran in this verse, and I'll conclude on this point. The Quran, it says what? It says, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ, that there is no doubt within this book. In the same way, you find these are those individuals who are on that manzil and that status of yaqeen and certainty. That's why Amir al-Mu'mineen, he said, "Lo kushif al-ghita ma'azdadtu yaqina." That if the veils are removed from my eyes, then it wouldn't increase my certainty in any bit. You know, this statement isn't small. This statement is not small. Rasulullah would say, "Mutu qabla an tamutu," that die before you die. You know, Nasiruddin Tusi, he explains this line. He says, when we look, when us regular people, for us, We have the day of action and we have the day of hisab. That this world is the world of action, but the next world is the world of hisab. But that individual who is absorbed in Allah, the action becomes the reward. That there is no difference between the two. That's why when they said to Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ya Ali, do you prefer to be in Jannat or do you prefer to be in the masjid? Amir al-Mu'mineen replied by saying, I would prefer to be in a masjid. Why? Because when I am in heaven, it is my pleasure. But when I am in the masjid, it is the pleasure of Allah. You see, amal and hisab, it comes together for these individuals. These are those Ahlul Bayt. But if you want to look at the difference between Ahlul Bayt and others, the difference is this. Other individuals, they would interpret the Quran for their own gain. They would use the Quran as a political move. That even they put the Quran upon a spear. The difference between them and Ahlul Bayt is this. That even if you put the head of Ahlul Bayt upon a spear, that head, it begins to recite Quran. As it stated that the head of Imam al-Hussein, it would say, Am hasibta anna ashab al-kahfi wa raqimi kanu min ayatina ajaba. That do you think the people of the cave and the inscription are an astonishing sign? Then look at my head at this moment. You know, as I was sitting there, I was thinking that what musibah to recite upon this night. But the Marsiyah, it recited the musibah of Ali Asghar. That musibah, it comes to my mind. You know, there's one more point. You know, in the same way that if we have the Quran today, then the warith of the Quran is with us as well. That there must be a warith who is alive. That who is this warith of Imam al-Hussein, Imam al-Zaman? You know, the narrations, they stay. Some of them stay upon the day of Ashura. You find Imam al-Zaman, he'll stand up in front of the Kaaba. When he stands in front of the Kaaba, he'll make 5 statements introducing himself. You know what the first statement is? He says, Ala ya ahl al-alam, ana imamul qa'im. Then he addresses the people of the world. He says, I am that imam who stands up. Then he says, Ala ya ahl al-alam, ana samsamul muntaqim. That I am the one who'll take revenge. Then he says, Ala ya ahl al-alam, inna jaddi al-Hussein qataluhu adshan. He says, I am the one whose grandfather Hussein was killed thirsty. Then he says, Ala ya ahl al-alam, inna jaddi al-Hussein tarahuhu uryanan. That I am the one whose grandfather, that they didn't even leave the clothes upon his body. That they took the clothes off his body. Then he says, Ala ya ahl al-alam, inna jaddi al-Hussein sahaquhu udwanan. That, oh people of the world, my grandfather Hussein, they broke his body into pieces. Then after that, the narrations, they differ. Some of the narrations, they state that the Imam in Medina, he'll reconstruct those broken graves within Jannatul Baqi. He'll reconstruct the grave of his grandmother Zahra. After that, there's one narration which states that he'll go towards Karbala. When he goes towards Karbala, he'll enter the haram of his grandfather. When he goes to the shrine of his grandfather, he'll go towards the Zari. When he goes towards the Zari, he'll open up the Zari. Then he'll go into the grave. When he goes into the grave, there will be the body of a 6-month child upon the chest of Imam al-Hussein. He'll lift the body of the child. He'll say, فَبِعَيِّ دَمٍ قُتِلَتْ. That for what sin was this child killed? You know, tonight I'm reciting the musibah of the mother of Ali Asghar Rabab. Then what is the musibah of Rabab? Then what did Rabab have to see? You know, on the day of Ashura, a point had come when the Imam was alone. He gives his call, Ala hal min nasirin yansurna. that is there anyone to help me? Is there anyone to help the haram of Rasulullah? At that point, the riwayat, it states that the women, they began to cry. The moment they began to cry, the Imam, he goes towards the tent. When he goes towards the tent, he sees that Asghar fell out of that cradle which he was in. He takes Ali Asghar. He says, oh Rabab, I'll go and get water for Asghar. You find the Imam, he begins speaking to the army of Umar bin Saad. He says to them that if I've done anything wrong, this child is ma'asoom. He puts Ali Asghar on the plains of Karbala. He steps back for a moment, but even then they don't give anything towards Asghar. But that moment it comes that he picks up the body of Ali Asghar. He begins to speak. As he's speaking, the army of Umar bin Saad begins to cry. Umar bin Saad says, oh Hormala, ekta kalam al-Husayn, cut the words of Hussein. Hormala picks up the arrow, he puts it back down. He picks up the arrow, he puts it back down. He picks it up a third time, he puts it back down. Umar bin Saad said, oh Hormala, if somebody asked me who is the most hard-hearted in my army, I would take your name, oh Hormala. Why don't you fire the arrow? Hormala says, oh Umar bin Saad, you don't see what I see. Every time I want to fire the arrow, there's a lady dressed in black. She says to me, my Asghar is Masoom. The Imam, the arrow goes through the neck of Asghar. You know, there's two riwayat. You know, when I was younger, I used to think that why is there a difference between the riwayat? Some of them, they say the arrow went from the front of the neck to the back of the neck. But then other riwayat, they say, min al-uduni ila al-udan. That from one ear to the other ear. But it's later when you read the Maqtal and you realize that arrow wasn't an arrow with 1 point. It was a spear which had 3 points. That when 3 points they went through. One went through the ear of Asghar. The musibah is the musibah of Rabab. You know, when a woman, she can't have children, when she's barren, anytime she goes near a child, it breaks her heart. Now imagine you have a child like Ali Asghar. What must the heart of Rabab feel? You find this Rabab, this is that lady who, despite the pain of Asghar, she would mourn for her husband Hussein. You know, the riwayat, they state, on the 11th of Muharram, as the caravan was going from Karbala towards Kufa, Sayyida Zainab, she made one request to Shimar. See, she said, oh Shimar, don't take these women in between the bodies. I don't know if they can handle it. But what Shimar does, he takes them in between the bodies. Each of the women, they would go to the body of their beloved. Kulsum would say, Ya Abbas. Layla would say, Ya Akbar. Farwa would say, Ya Qasim. But there were only 2 women that only went to the body of Imam al-Hussein. The first was Sayyida Zainab, the other was Rabab. You know, when Rabab, she comes to the body of Imam al-Hussein, she says, oh my master Hussein, oh my Aka Hussein. She says, oh my master Hussein, if my arms weren't tied, I would use my hands to put shade upon your body. Then she says, oh Aka Hussein, if I had a hijab on my head, I would use that hijab as a kafan. She would put one hand on her chest. She would say, wow, Hussein. She would put one hand on her head. She would say, wow, hijaba. But she would say, oh my master Hussein, as long as Rabab is alive, Rabab will never drink cold water. Rabab will never... You find Rabab. Rabab, she goes from Sham. She comes back to Karbala on the day of Arba'een. When she comes back upon the day of Arba'een, Sayyida Zainab says, oh my nephew Sajjad, the time has come to go. We go back towards Medina. But oh Sayyida Sajjad, where's your mother Rabab? You find Rabab was sitting in Karbala. Imam Zainul Abidin, he says, oh my mother Rabab, you were the one who wanted to go to Medina. The time has come to go to Medina. She says, oh my son Sajjad, I'll stay within Karbala. Imam Zainul Abidin says, what will you do in Karbala? She said, oh Sajjad, what will I do in Medina? My Hussein is here. My Asghar is here. My Sakina is in Sham. The Imam says, what will you do here? She says, I'll put water on the graves. When the Zaireen come, I'll tell them this is the grave of Hussein. I'll tell them this is where Asghar took an arrow in his neck. But the riwayat, they state, the Imam, he takes her back towards Medina. You know, 6 months they go by. You know what Rabab would do in Medina? She would sit in the sun with water. She would wait until that water would become warm. Then she would drink the water until a day comes. Sayyida Zainab, she says, oh Sajjad, the state of your mother isn't in a good condition. Oh Sajjad, tell her to go in the shade. You find Imam Zainul Abidin, he comes towards Rabab. He says, oh mother Rabab, please go in the shade, go in the saya. She replies by saying that I promise my master I'll never go in the shade. She says, oh Sajjad, are you asking me as my son, or are you asking as the Imam? He says, oh mother, I'm asking as the Imam. You find Imam Zainul Abidin, he picks one arm of Rabab. Sayyida Zainab picks other arm of Rabab. They go towards the shade. Before they go towards the shade, Rabab falls on the ground. The Imam, he says, Inna Lillah. Ala la'natullah. Ala al-qawm al-zalimeen. May Allah accept your worship. One wasila, one wasila, one wasila. You know, when the Qafla was leaving Sham, an incident occurred again where Sayyida Zainab said, oh Sayyida Sajjad, where is your mother Rabab? The Imam says, oh my aunt Zainab, I know where to find her. The Imam, he begins to walk towards that zindan, towards that prison in Sham. The riwayat, it says, when the Imam, he comes inside, he sees Rabab holding the grave of Sakina. And in the way a child cries for their mother, she was crying at the grave. She was saying, oh Sakina, you wanted to go to Medina. Oh Sakina, we're going. Matam Hussein.
Jazakallah, jazakallah.
Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे,
तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ।
आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ
चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ।
आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे,
तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ।
आ जाओ चांद मेरे,
तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ।
मेरे लाडले कहाँ हो, मेरे लाडले कहाँ हो, सीने तुम्हें लगाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे,
तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ।
मेरे लाडले कहाँ हो, मेरे लाडले कहाँ हो, सीने तुम्हें लगाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ
चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ।
तेरे झूले को सकीना रो रो के चूमती है, तुझे रन में ढूंढती है, तेरी मौत की खबर मैं कैसे उसे सुनाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे,
तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ।
आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर तेरे झूले को सकीना रो रो के चूमती है, तुझे रन में ढूंढती है, तेरी मौत की खबर मैं कैसे उसे सुनाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ।
आ जाओ चांद मेरे, प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ।
मेरे लाडले कहाँ हो, मेरे लाडले कहाँ हो, सीने तुम्हें लगाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे,
तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ।
बेटा तुम्हारा कातिल मेरे सामने खड़ा है, जाने क्यों हंस रहा है, चादर भी लुट गई है, मुंह किस तरह छुपाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। मेरे लाडले कहाँ हो, मेरे लाडले कहाँ हो, सीने तुम्हें लगाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं,
असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ।
बेटा तुम्हारा कातिल मेरे सामने खड़ा है, जाने क्यों हंस रहा है, चादर भी लुट गई है, मुंह किस तरह छुपाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ।
आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ।
बेटा तुम्हारा कातिल मेरे सामने खड़ा है, जाने क्यों हंस रहा है, चादर भी लुट गई है, मुंह किस तरह छुपाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं,
असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ।
मेरे लाडले कहाँ हो, मेरे लाडले कहाँ हो, सीने तुम्हें लगाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं,
असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ।
लगता है माँ से असगर नाराज हो गया है, मकतल में सो गया है, ढूंढूं कहाँ मैं उसको और किस तरह जगाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं,
असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ।
बेटा तुम्हारा कातिल मेरे सामने खड़ा है, जाने क्यों हंस रहा है। चादर भी लुट गई है, मुंह किस तरह छुपाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। लगता है माँ से हंस गए, नाराज हो गया है, मकतल में सो गया है। ढूंढूं कहाँ मैं उसको और किस तरह जगाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी। या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन, जब या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन, जब हो के रेहा कैद से घर जाएगी ज़ैनब, जब हो के रेहा कैद से घर जाएगी ज़ैनब, जब हो के रेहा कैद से घर जाएगी ज़ैनब, जब हो के रेहा कैद से घर जाएगी ज़ैनब, जब हो के रेहा कैद से घर जाएगी ज़ैनब, जब हो के रेहा कैद से घर जाएगी ज़ैनब। गर तुम ना हुए साथ तो मर जाएगी ज़ैनब, जब हो के रेहा कैद से घर जाएगी ज़ैनब, जब हो के रेहा कैद से घर जाएगी ज़ैनब। भाई तेरी मजलूमी की खाती हूँ कसम मैं, बाहर दर जिंदा से न रखूंगी कदम मैं, जब तक ना फना जुल्म को कर जाएगी ज़ैनब, जब हो के रेहा कैद से घर जाएगी ज़ैनब, जब हो के रेहा कैद से घर जाएगी ज़ैनब, जब हो के रेहा कैद से घर जाएगी ज़ैनब, जब हो के रेहा कैद से घर जाएगी ज़ैनब। भाई तेरी मजलूमी की खाती हूँ कसम मैं, बाहर दर जिंदा से ना रखूंगी कदम मैं, जब तक ना फना जुल्म को कर जाएगी ज़ैनब, जब हो के रेहा कैद से घर जाएगी ज़ैनब, जब हो के रेहा कैद से घर जाएगी ज़ैनब, जब हो के रेहा कैद से घर जाएगी ज़ैनब, जब हो के रेहा कैद से घर जाएगी ज़ैनब। मैं आम ज़माने में ये ऐलान करूँगी, भाई तेरे कातिल का वो अंजाम करूँगी, सरतन से जुदा जुल्म का कर जाएगी ज़ैनब, जब हो के रेहा कैद से
घर जाएगी ज़ैनब जब होके रिहा कैद से, घर जाएगी ज़ैनब जब होके रिहा कैद से, घर जाएगी ज़ैनब जब होके रिहा कैद से, घर जाएगी ज़ैनब। तुम कत्ल हुए और अजल मुझको न आई, किस तरह से जिंदा हूँ न पूछो मेरे भाई, ढूंढेगी तुम्हें अब तो जिधर जाएगी ज़ैनब जब होके रिहा कैद से, घर 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 जाएगी ज़ैनब। शर्मिंदा हूँ मैं तुमको कफन देती तो कैसे, आदाने रिदा छीन ली भैया मेरे सर से, इस रंज में दुनिया से गुजर जाएगी ज़ैनब जब होके रिहा कैद से, घर 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 जाएगी ज़ैनब। सौगात में ये खूबरा कुर्ता तेरा भाई, कह दूंगी ये सामान बचा कर हूँ मैं लाई, रोज़े पे मोहम्मद के अगर जाएगी ज़ैनब जब होके रिहा कैद से, घर जाएगी ज़ैनब जब घर जाएगी ज़ैनब जब होके रिहा कैद से, घर जाएगी ज़ैनब जब होके रिहा कैद से, घर जाएगी ज़ैनब। या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन। है जब शाम के जिंदान में कोहराम बपा, बैन से बाली सकीना के, लरजती है फिजा, सर्द है सारा बदन, जर्द है गम से चेहरा, आह करती है तो हिल जाता है जिंदा सारा, ख्वाब से चौंक के उठ बैठी है रोती रोती, अपने सीने से लगाए हुए बैठी है फुप्पी, रो के कहती है कि बाबा मेरे पास आए थे, फुप्पी अम्मा वो यहीं पास मेरे बैठे थे, मुझसे कहते थे मेरा दिल नहीं लगता बेटी, आजा अब आजा मेरी गोद में आजा बेटी। कब से बेचैन हूँ, सूरत तो दिखा दो मुझको, फुप्पियों माँ मेरे बाबा से मिला दो मुझको। कब से बेचैन हूँ, सूरत तो दिखा दो मुझको, फुप्पियों माँ मेरे बाबा से मिला दो मुझको। वो यहीं होंगे कहीं, आप जरा दें तो सदा, यहीं होंगे कहीं, आप जरा दें तो सदा, वो यहीं होंगे कहीं, आप जरा दें तो सदा, यहीं होंगे कहीं, आप जरा दें तो सदा। कहिए उनसे मेरी जानिब से ये बेटी खौफदा, दूर ही से जरा आवाज सुना दो मुझको। कब से बेचैन हूँ, सूरत तो दिखा दो मुझको, फुप्पियाँ माँ मेरे बाबा से मिला दो मुझको। गम से फट जाएगा बेटी का कलेजा बाबा, से फट जाएगा बेटी का कलेजा बाबा। बख्श दो मुझको अगर की हो कोई मैंने खता, हूँ सजावार पर इतनी ना सजा दो मुझको। कब से बेचैन हूँ, सूरत तो दिखा दो मुझको, फुप्पियाँ माँ मेरे बाबा से मिला दो मुझको। कब से बेचैन हूँ, सूरत तो दिखा दो मुझको, फुप्पियाँ माँ मेरे बाबा से मिला दो मुझको। शुक्र अल्लाह का मुश्किल हुई आसान मेरी, अल्लाह का मुश्किल हुई आसान मेरी। कट गए कैद के दिन, आ गई रुखसात की घड़ी, अब सफर खैर से गुजरे ये दुआ दो मुझको। कब से बेचैन हूँ, सूरत तो दिखा दो मुझको, फुप्पियाँ माँ मेरे बाबा से मिला दो मुझको। कब से बेचैन हूँ, सूरत तो दिखा दो मुझको, फुप्पियाँ माँ मेरे बाबा से मिला दो मुझको। बंद आँखें हुई जाती है मेरी देखे जरा, आँखें हुई जाती है मेरी देखे लोरिया देती है मुझको कोई मानूस सदा, नींद आती है पुपी जान सुला दो मुझको। कब से बेचैन हूँ तो दिखा दो मुझको, पुपिया माँ मेरे बाबा से मिला दो मुझको। कब से बेचैन हूँ तो दिखा दो मुझको, पुपिया माँ मेरे बाबा से मिला दो मुझको। मांगिए अब ना दुआ ए मेरे जीने के लिए, अब ना दुआ ए मेरे जीने के लिए। देखिए आ गए बाबा मुझे लेने